All right, good morning, LT. Happy Wednesday, and welcome to the January version of the lunchtime webinar. This is a chance for our monthly update to share some news and information all about LT. My name is Brian Waterman. I'm honored to serve as a superintendent here at LT, and I'm excited to do this once again. Hopefully, we'll be able to share some information that you may be aware of and some items that you may not be aware of already. So again, Happy New Year. Welcome to January. And again, this gives us a chance to share information in a little bit different of a format, hopefully a little more interactive of a format. And so with that, I'll get started here in a second. I also want to remind people, if you do have a question, don't be afraid to drop it in the chat for a Q&A at the end. And then, of course, if you're watching a recording of this, never hesitate to shoot me an email at bwaterman at lths.net. If you have questions about anything related to LT, I'll do my best to get those answered. So let's get started. So obviously, it's been a pretty challenging January, and I want to thank our students, our staff, and our parent guardians and community for your patience and understanding, as January has definitely presented some challenging weather as we've kicked off the new year. Already within the first 2 to 3 weeks of the semester, we've had a traditional snow day, we've had an e-learning day, and we've had a late arrival day, which is pretty rare to have that significant of weather modifications to our schedule within a couple-week period. So I think it's always a good chance to remind our community really about our processes related to weather decisions. And so that QR code on your screen will take you to all of the necessary detailed information around weather-related closures. But I just want to share a couple of bullet points. From a communication perspective, it's really important to make sure that we have the most updated information for our students and families. So if your contact information has changed recently, please, or if you're unsure whether we have that contact information on file, please call our main office just to make sure that we have the correct information in Infinite Campus. If you would like to receive text notifications about school delays or closures or e-learning days, which is one of our primary modes of communication, please text the word START, capital, S-T-A-R-T, so all capitals, START, to 91201. And that way you know you're signed up. And we push out text messages anytime we have weather changes or schedule changes due to the weather. Typically, what we will do is we'll send email, we'll send text notice, we will also post the information on our website, and then all of our social media channels, which includes Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or X, formerly known as Twitter. If you obviously don't receive that information, then check the website for any type of weather information. I think it's also important to just kind of share, what are the decisions or what are the factors that we use when we make decisions around weather-related closures? There's a lot of things that go into my decision-making process when it comes to e-learning or snow days or late arrival days. We're certainly going to look at the conditions of our campuses. Do we have electricity and heat? Is our buildings and grounds staff, who work so hard, are they able to clear our lots? Are they able to make the sidewalks and the entryways accessible? So that's really an important factor. We also work really closely with our transportation provider, First Student, to make sure that they feel confident about being able to safely transport our students through bus routes and things like that in weather. We also work really closely with all of our feeder schools that feed into LT and our surrounding area as well, to really make decisions that are in the best interest of safety for our students, for our staff, for our parents, and for our community. So we're always, of course, predisposed to stay open, and we want to continue operations as much as we can. We know that it's not ideal to have a snow day. We know it's not ideal to have e-learning. It certainly doesn't replace the in-person learning that we have on a day-to-day basis, but certainly when safety becomes a factor, we want to make sure that we pay attention to that. So anyway, all the information that I just shared, plus much, much more, is accessible through the QR code on your screen. So please take a look at that if you have any questions. And again, don't hesitate to reach out. This week, LT will administer the 5 Essentials Survey, which is a mandated survey per the Illinois State Board of Education. This is a research-based survey designed by the University of Chicago. It asks students about the supportiveness of our school environment, the rigor of instruction. Allows us a chance to get feedback directly from our students, our parents, and our staff around a lot of things related to our operations and to our culture. It takes about 30 minutes for people to complete. And then, it's important to note that individual responses to the survey do remain confidential. Aggregate results or collective results are published online each fall in conjunction with the annual Illinois School Report Card, which is something that we share with our community and report out on in late October, early November. And then, it's really important to note that in the fall, that summative designation that's applied to schools, a part of that is made up of the participation rate within 5 Essential Survey. So it's kind of all related to that Illinois School Report Card, and certainly we're able to use the data to make improvements. Moving along here, we've got a really exciting event coming up on Saturday. We hope that our community will join us for our 4th annual Building an Inclusive Community event. This started as a virtual event way back in the spring of 2021 and has now grown into an on-campus, really community-wide discussion about continue to cultivate an environment within our community where everyone feels a sense of belonging. We have a keynote speaker, Dr. Rachel Mahmood, who will join us on Saturday. She will speak on how we create spaces that foster that genuine sense of belonging for all. But in addition to that, there's also going to be some breakout sessions that explore issues within transgender rights, disability etiquette, coping with stress, bridging political divides, which is so important, and then equity in the college journey, and then much, much more. But it will be an action-packed Saturday morning, starts at 9 o'clock at our South Campus. And that QR code on the screen will give you more information, but also allow you to register for the conference, which we would ask anyone who's interested in joining, please register in advance for the event. So again, QR code on your screen will take you to more information on that. A few weeks ago, right after we came out of winter break in early January, we shared some exciting facilities-related information with our community. District 204 is very soon going to embark on Groundwork for a Brighter Future, which is a multi-year journey to hopefully modernize our 2 campuses and enhance the learning environment for all of our students, our staff, and our community. There's no doubt that the quality of educational space is critical and always has a direct impact on learning and in our environment. Really the facilities ensure that our students are going to graduate prepared for life, career, and college success. All of these upcoming projects that have been identified really reflect our district's commitment to ensuring that our facilities support that high quality in-class learning, but also extracurricular activities that foster the academic, the physical, and the social emotional well-being of all of our students. This project, this journey, also connects directly to Goal 5 of our community strategic plan, which really outlines a plan to upgrade our facilities to support modernization of our classrooms and school to better meet 21st century learning. We overall expect that this project, this Groundwork for a Brighter Future, will include 2 phases. Phase 1 is projected to be a 3-year, approximately $40 million renovation to both campuses. Phase 1 includes projects at both North and South Campus. However, the primary focus initially for summer of 2024, which is coming up very quickly, will include projects at South Campus. We anticipate that all of the North Campus projects that are included within Phase 1 will begin 1 year from now in the summer or a year and a half from now in the summer of 2025. Then what you'll find if you go to our website and click on the QR code, you'll find that this whole journey also includes a sort of yet to be determined Phase 2. And certainly why we haven't done detailed planning on that, our community engagement process from the fall of 2022, as well as mechanical assessments and facility assessments, has outlined an additional approximately $85 to $100 million worth of facilities improvements that we know will become necessary following the completion of Phase 1, which we anticipate would be in 2026. So again, more information there. If you click that QR code, you'll be able to learn all about Groundwork for a Brighter Future, including our community engagement process, information on each of the phases. You'll see some project plans and renderings, projected cost, of course, funding sources that are tied to these projects, and then a lot more as well. So hopefully you'll find the page informative. We're always looking for community questions and input on this important work. And so check out the website. Don't ever hesitate to let us know if you have questions, but certainly we're really excited over the next several years to bring this vision to life. And then finally, I want to just remind our community that our work every single day here at LT is guided by our strategic plan. We've mentioned this a lot over the last couple of years, but this was a plan that was developed in the spring of 2022, formally adopted by our Board of Education in June of 2022, and we continue to live this plan each and every day. Really with 5 goals encompassing the areas of academic performance, learning environment, high quality staff, family and community partnerships, and resource allocation. We use this in order to identify the high priority tasks that we focus on every year. We also use it to guide our work in our classrooms, in our extracurricular areas. And then we, of course, use our interactive scorecard to measure the progress that we are making towards our 5 goals. So I always encourage community members, parents, staff, students to check out our strategic plan website, which has a ton of content around goals, objectives, tasks, strategies, video content, scorecard that measures progress. Click that QR code on the screen. We're always looking for input, and we're always encouraging our community to follow along as we bring our vision to life. And then, of course, we always talk about this as well, but I want to just continue to highlight our LT Community Advisory Council. We're actually hosting our 3rd LTCAC meeting tonight. Today's January 31st, obviously, and the topic is academics and assessment. So our team is going to review our most recent SAT data that we've received. The team is also going to talk about our upcoming transition to an online administration of the SAT, which is that's something all schools are going through right now. But we're also going to be able to talk about our experience with administering the online pre-SAT or PSAT from back in the fall. And then, of course, we'll talk about how this is all connected to our strategic plan. And the most important part of LTCAC is making sure that we get really good feedback from our community. So it always gives people a chance to discuss these topics at small tables, and then we use that feedback to make improvements for the future. So again, QR code on your screen will take you directly to our LTCAC website, where you can really do 2 things. You can look at all of the minutes and the information from previous meetings. You can also sign up to become a new member, and we are always looking for new members. In addition to tonight's meeting, we also have a meeting coming up in early May. It's May 1st. So that'll be our 4th quarter meeting. So again, encourage everyone to sign up to join. We're always looking for new members. I think that covers everything that we wanted to talk about here in January. I want to see if there's any questions from participants. And then, as I said at the beginning, of course, if you're watching a recording of this and something piques your interest, or if you have a question about anything, don't ever hesitate to email me, bwaterman@lths.net. And with that, I will sign off for this month's webinar, but I wish everyone a great February. We will be back here in late February. February 28th, Wednesday, February 28th is the next date of our monthly webinar. So till then, have a great February and have a great Wednesday.